cold exposure is the third favorite thing to do just after chocolate. It is instead of training, instead of you going to the gym. Everything requires effort. Everything is a little bit out of your discomfort if you have to go to the gym, to being in control, you know? So when your kid throws you a tantrum or you get stuck in traffic or your boss is shouting at you, or even you have a presentation and you need to be calm but active, it teaches you how to respond. You don't want to go straight away after ice bath and do training.
Okay.
But I saw some studies actually that it boosts testosterone. I find it very transformational, this technique, in a sense that it puts people on the right path. First of all, it gives them confidence.
Jiena Klera Ġusordwi, naħdem fuq it-televiżjoni u anke fil-medja soċjali. Passjoni kbira l-fitness u dak kollu li jista' jgħinna biex inħossuna tajbin mentalment u fiżikament. Dak kollu li nitgħallem, nirriċerka u nistaqsi ser inkun qed niddiskutih ma' professjonisti u nies b'esperjenzi li ser jagħtuna għodda li nistgħu nużaw biex ngħixu ħajjitna bl-aħjar mod possibbli. Ħanibdew podcast ieħor, podcast Reboot, fejn qed niltaqgħu ma' nies interessanti li qed jesponuna għal għodda li nistgħu nużaw fil-ħajja tagħna biex ngħixu ħajja aħjar kemm nistgħu. Qed ikollna stejjer, is-suġġetti huma varji. U llum eċitata ħafna fuq ix ħanitkellmu għaliex huwa kunċett illi jista' jgħinna ħafna f'ħajjitna. Imma sfortunatament naħseb għadna ftit lura hawnhekk biex sirna nafu bih, ġifieri jekk inti taf bih għaliex rid tkun taf bih għaliex fittix toqrajt. U permezz ta' dan il-podcast ħankun qed nagħmlu introduzzjoni. Fil-fatt għandi miegħi lil Pavla Borg, hija management u health coach, fundatriċi ta' My Heroic Wellness. L-ewwel persuna f'Malta ikkwalifikata fil-Wim Hof Method u għalliema tan-nifs Soma f'Malta. Tħobbtejn li n-nies jgħixu ħajjithom aħjar billi tinkorpora l-prinċipji fundamentali tal-għejxin, billi tintegra l-erf li kienu jużaw qabel, ix-xjenza moderna u s-sens komun. Ilha tgħix Malta 25 sena. Għamlet aktar minn 140 klassi online għal sena u nofs ma' nies minn madwar id-dinja. Tħobb tispira lin-nies biex jieħdu ħsieb lilhom infushom bis-serjetà, taqsam riċetti, meditazzjoni, sfidi, eċċetera. Mhux dilettanta ta' training estrem jew training li involvi ġiri, imma minħabba training mentali tagħha kienet kapaċi titrenja għal Spartan f'Los Angeles f'4 xhur. Pavla, thanks for being with us. I'm really happy and excited. We're exploring this subject. But first of all, I would like you to introduce yourself. Maybe anyone who's watching would like to know more about you.
Thank you for having me, Claire. Hello, everyone. I think you said it quite well. I understood everything.
Yes, because you understand Maltese, right?
I understand Maltese. I've been here long enough.
Okay.
But yes, I'm very passionate about health, about wellness, about prevention, because I have a lot of serious illness in my family, which brings you down to earth. You start realizing what's really important and what's not. And I'm not a very good patient, so I prefer to be step ahead and do anything possible not to need any, harsh interventions. So I'm all about inspiring people to take their well-being seriously and to start today.
So you're a health and wellness coach also?
Yes. I studied at the Institute of Integrative Nutrition in New York. It's a school for health coaches. And I also done the heroic coaching, which is all about how to use the principles of Stoicism and ancient wisdom, and working on our fundamentals of well-being. We all know them, yes, the nutrition, the sleep, the breath, and so on. And I'm very passionate about breath work because I honestly found it one of the most powerful tools how to change our state. And I don't believe I'm saying this, but cold therapy, yes.
Yes, in fact, the first idea was to talk about cold therapy, but you have so much information to share with us that I would like to explore even more. But first and foremost, I would like to ask you about the Wim Hof method. Let's start from the beginning, introducing who Wim Hof is for maybe those who are watching and do not know about him.
Okay, so Wim Hof, originally he was an endurance athlete. So he's got under his belt some 26 Guinness book world records. Some of the most memorable ones are things like climbing Mount Everest in his shorts beyond the dead zone, or swimming almost 60 meters under the ice, or being submerged in ice for almost 2 hours. I mean, crazy things like this that the biology tells us are impossible. He literally proved that impossible is possible. And then this person, because people wanted to know, like, what's happening? Because is it just whim, or is it something that anybody could do? Because that's the motto. Anything I can do, you can do too.
So he's really well known for the cold therapy and for his breath work, right?
I mean, first he started literally, it was like a circus act, literally. Like, I think it happened almost by coincidence. He saved somebody falling into an icy lake. And then the journalist started coming to him, asking him, can you do this? Can you do that? He never knew if he could do it, but he's like, okay, I'll try it. And every time he succeeded. And it became like a show. But then, of course, when he was submerged in ice in New York, there were some safety precautions. So that he had these sensors on his body measuring him, and he showed something physiologically that wasn't supposed to happen. That's not possible. When your core body temperature drops below a certain mark, without external heat, all the biology textbooks tells you so, you are not able to raise the temperature, and he did. And so they said, this looks interesting, we'd like to know more. And Wim is that person that he wants to explore this in science, because he wants to bring this to mainstream healthcare. And the only way is to have the know-how behind it, why it works. He knows that it works, but he wouldn't know how.
In fact, exactly, all the people who try cold exposure know about Wim Hof in one way or another. And in his book, which is really interesting, he mentions and explains thoroughly the benefits of cold exposure.
Yes.
And it's backed up by research as well. Can we, in simple words, maybe explain a bit of the good things that happen when you take cold showers, when you immerse yourself in ice baths?
I mean, the benefits are like endless, literally. First, you have the immediate benefit, the effect, you feel it. I mean, they did a survey in Denmark, which, by the way, cold exposure is the 3rd favorite thing to do just after chocolate. Yeah. And when they asked them why, I think 43% said it was the health benefits. Second was joy, which is kind of counterintuitive, because you think joy, I mean, I go into freezing water for joy, it's going to be painful, you know, but it's through the first effect. When you come out of an ice bath, everybody's high. Everybody's laughing and happy, and you feel this rush of endorphins. So that's the first benefit, that it's a reset, you know, of your state, here and now. And the same happens with cold shower, really. You don't have to do an ice bath. Not everybody has to do ice bath. But then there are the long-term, the adaptive benefits, and they are pretty amazing. We can speak about the physiological benefits, obviously cardiovascular health, it's training for your cardiovascular health. In fact, I tell people, if you're thinking of taking a cold shower, don't think of it as it's instead of your warm shower, because nobody wants to give up their warm shower, it feels good. It is instead of training, instead of you going to the gym. Everything requires effort. Everything is a little bit out of your discomfort if you have to go to the gym. So think of it that way, because the benefits are more close to what the gym or any other training provides for you, you know? And it's the cardiovascular health, like I said. There is also the analgesic effect. A lot of people use cold for relief of pain. It's very common, and it really works. We know why it works. Also, there is the immunity effect. It improves your immunity in a sense. It dampens the out-of-control inflammation, which is a cause of so many, you know, health problems nowadays. They even link it to depression and cancer. And on the other hand, it boosts the clever immunity, the white blood cells, you know, these lymphocytes, leukocytes. They found it all increases. And you want that. You want to have a strong army and a big stock of these soldiers, but you want them to be quiet until there is a reason to be loud. And inflammation is literally, they're always loud.
So
yes?
anyone
so
can do. once you're taking the cold shower, anyone can do it. It costs nothing and it's beneficial for everyone. Anyone can do it.
Well, cold shower, I would say so, yes. I mean, you want to always, if you have some serious conditions, like especially heart arrhythmia, or high blood pressure that's not being controlled, it's not being treated, you definitely want to go very gently and you want to consult with your medical provider. But I believe cold shower, if you start very gently, very gradually, a lot of people actually in long term, their high blood pressure goes down. I mean, it is a cardiovascular workout, like I said. At the same time, for ice bath, yes, there are contraindications. We don't allow people that have arrhythmia, that have epilepsy, or we err on the safe side when it comes to pregnancy. Even though I have instructor colleagues that have done cold swimming even throughout their pregnancy, but they were already adapted before, you know.
So I started following you and I want to attend one of your workshops, and you instructed me to start taking cold showers after my warm shower. I hate being cold, so it's quite an effort for me. I prefer doing 100 burpees than taking a cold shower. But as you said, it's funny how I'm a little bit, anxious before taking the shower, and then once I take it, I feel really good after. I'm not cold. Till now I'm doing like 20 to 30 seconds. It's a little, I know.
That's good.
But I fight it, as I told you, like I think like I'm doing the plank or hanging. I keep saying to myself, okay, I can do this. I'm not tuned to taking breaths while I feel. So there is a protocol to follow. Once you start following that protocol, it feels easier.
I mean, cold always feels cold. But yes, you adapt faster. You train your body because in your blood vessels, you have these tiny muscle cells, and they get a workout, and they become adapted much faster because you train them. This means also that your heart doesn't have to work so hard. So then when you go into the cold shower, your body remembers. You have this cellular memory of how to respond to stress. Because one of the biggest benefits, how I see the Wim Hof method and cold exposure, is not just the physiological. I didn't get to that. It's actually the mental training, the strong mindset training. Because you are training overcoming fear, you are training overcoming this obstacle and pushing past that comfort,
In fact,
that is, you can take that anywhere. Then.
In fact, I think this interests people on different levels. Maybe it interests you physiologically. It interests me to build resilience.
Yeah.
And in the book, it says that it can help people with anxiety, with panic attacks maybe. Can you explain why this happens with cold therapy?
It's multifold how it helps. Number one, due to the strong release of noradrenaline, which is actually activated in this, they call it this blue spot in the brain, locus coeruleus, it's called. And we actually find that it's very antidepressive. It has antidepressive effect. There is not enough studies on that, but there is one case study from 2018, I believe. There was this lady, she's since 17, she's been on antidepressants, and she couldn't get she couldn't get better no matter what, right? Even these pills didn't help, and eventually through the cold therapy, in 4 months, she managed to get rid of her depression, which was quite amazing. We know there is the effect on the brain through this hormonal reset, and a lot of people who suffer with depression use actually cold therapy to help them. When it comes to anxiety and panic,
it's breathwork. I think breathwork helps.
You want to go gently, always, even with the breathwork, because this kind of breathwork, it's not a classic calming breathing technique. We are actually playing with stress. What is very powerful about the Wim Hof method is that you are using the stress as a force. You actually use the stress, the fear, to make you feel stronger. So we are not avoiding the stress. We're not trying to calm ourselves down. We're learning how to flow between the fight and flight and the rest and digest system. And at the end of that, you find a balance. And we, from the evolution point of view, knew how to do it for millennia. If you look at a deer in nature, I was just in the Czech Republic in my home country, and I was watching the deer. They come to my house, and they are very clever. And that is the same biology we have. Like, when there is danger, fight and flight, they run, they give it all. The minute the danger passes, they're capable just to calm down, eat the grass or whatever there is. There wasn't much because there was snow. And just, switch, flow from one to the other. The problem nowadays is that most people, from the minute they wake up, they fly high up into the fight and flight state, and they get stuck in this chronic state, and they try themselves, calm themselves down with a cigarette or sugar or a coffee. And even when they sleep, they never completely calm down. So they never really are in that regenerative state, this parasympathetic nervous state. This is when your body heals. This is when your body digests. This is extremely important, and you should be able to flow from one to the other. And I think that's the biggest benefit of the Wim Hof method, that it teaches you how to calm yourself down facing a stressor. Because believe me, if you can calm yourself down in a nice bath, you can calm yourself in any situation.
It will spill over to everyday situation.
To everything. That is the biggest training. It teaches you to switch from being a victim of your circumstances to being in control, So when your kid throws you a tantrum, or you get stuck in traffic, or your boss is shouting at you, or even you have a presentation and you need to be calm but active, it teaches you how to respond, because your body remembers. It's an embodiment technique. It's not on a superficial mental level. You go very deep.
Dan il-podcast ma kienx ikun possibbli mingħajr Love GI. Hobbs Love GI, l-aktar ħobża bnina fi gżiritna, isiba biss fil-ħwienet tal-Maypole. Team Sport, il-post fejn isib l-aqwa brand sportivi bħal Diadora u Under Armour u l-aqwa ditti ta' żraben, sukoni u ħoka fost oħrajn. Isibuhom Liklin u Birkirkara. Hypro, prodotti mammolin bi proteina biżżejjed biex tikkumplimenta d-dieta tiegħek ta' kuljum u li ser jgħinuk fit-training li tagħmel biex tgħix ħajja aktar b'saħħitha. Gulon, gallettini bla zokkor b'toma bnina. Natru, ħalib plant-based b'ingredjenti naturali biss mingħajr zokkor miżjud. Fior di Vita, għal varjetà kbira ta' ġobnijiet. What I see is that we're always trying to be comfortable. We don't walk, we drive, we take warm showers, we eat what's comfortable for us. This technique is quite quick.
Very quick.
It will give you results instantly.
It is very quick, very effective, and very simple. Yeah.
And you'll feel the benefits instantly. So that is why I wanted to encourage people to try it.
Yes. That's what I like about it too. Because you can get the benefits. You don't have to spend 40 years training like Wim. Even to get the benefits when it comes to immunity. I mean, we have studies, the endotoxin study, if anybody wants to look it up, it's pretty spectacular. And now they even tested it further to see, is it with any instructor that you can get these benefits, or is it like Wim's effect? They really went deep. It's a very professionally done study. And also they wanted to see how long you have to do the method. And when Wim said, give me 10 days, and these people will be able to do the same like me, show that he could influence his immune system, his immune response to the endotoxin. He showed it. They did after 10 days of training. These were beginners. I mean, that is pretty fast if you ask me.
You did that also in your workshops, no? So people come.
They learn everything, yes, of course, they learn everything. I mean, this is available to everyone, because the last time I checked, you're not paying 50 cents per breath. It's free. Your air and the cold it's available to anyone. We are using natural tools, natural elements that are out there. And in Malta, we are super lucky. We have this incredible Mediterranean Sea within 20 minutes from everyone. You can just drive to it, even after work, have your swimming suit in the car and jump in winter. It's not that painful like going to, or dangerous. And so it's available to everyone. But you can also find it online, how to do it. Like just go to wimhofmethod.com and you can do it. You can start from today in the evening or in the morning tomorrow. Try to have a cold shower, just a little bit, start gradually.
Exactly. To make this actionable, to give some tips, if we had to simplify it for someone who's listening and following us, can we just explain maybe how to start?
Yeah, so
would that be possible?
It is very possible. Don't forget, your body is very clever. So as soon as it hits cold, it will constrict your extremities, the blood vessels in your extremities to keep the core body temperature stable. So it really helps if you start with your extremities first, meaning put one arm in, then the other arm, then one leg, the other leg. Do a bit of I call it the hokey pokey dance. And then when you get that, it's easier to go all of you under the cold shower. And what you want to do is you want to focus on your exhale. We never do Wim Hof method breathwork in water, ever. So it's a different kind of breathing than the Wim Hof method. Actually, you're focusing on calming yourself down in the cold. That's how people get through the ice bath. They focus on their exhale, you breathe through the nose, focus on a long exhale, just do 3 breaths and get out. In 3 breaths, if you count 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out, you're there, it's pretty good. And you want to build yourself up maybe to 1 minute or 2 minutes. It depends, but you can start. I started with 15 seconds. I was extremely cold averse. I don't have a talent for cold. I hated cold. My favorite clothing item was a coat. I have the best coat collection in Malta, trust me, because I would never take it off.
From
but
my
it can happen.
Really poor experience, from the week I've been doing it, maybe first I take a warm shower, then rinse, and then I turn it to cold, and believe me, it's really cold. And I stay under it for maybe 20 minutes, but
20 seconds.
20 seconds, not 20 minutes, I would die. 20 seconds, and then I'm increasing seconds slowly. Sometimes it's easier than I thought it would be. And on other days it might be because I'm not totally concentrated and it might be a little bit more difficult. So am I doing it right in that way?
Yes, a lot of things will affect your sensitivity. Time of the day will affect your sensitivity. So I like cold shower in the morning because it wakes me up. I feel I get the most out of it. But in the morning, you're a bit more sensitive to cold. So maybe you would prefer it in the afternoon.
I do it after my fitness class, so
after
I'm
your fitness
fine.
class. Some people like it in the evening. To me, I find it wakes me up. And the general rule of thumb is to leave it's twofold really, because on one hand, your body has to cool down to sleep well. So if you have it in the evening and leave 60 to 90 minutes at least, so it doesn't, it wakes you up and then you can't really sleep. So if you leave 90 minutes and then go to sleep, you might actually have a better sleep. I'm not that kind of person. They say there are not 2 snowflakes the same, and there are not 2 people the same. Everybody's different.
I wouldn't take it in the evening because it energizes me.
Yeah.
From the little I experienced. In fact, I read also that abroad they're starting to take it cold baths before training.
Yeah. That's like the new
trend now.
But you want to leave some time. You don't want to go straight away after ice bath and do training.
Okay.
But I saw some studies actually that it boosts testosterone. And nowadays we're suffering with lack of testosterone, and not only in men, even women need testosterone. And so they found that the combination of the ice bath and then fitness, training after, I think it's advisable to leave at least 20 minutes, because kind of it's counterintuitive, because before running you try to warm up, yes? But I saw there's this new trend. I know you have probably a lot of fitness followers, so one of the other ways it's good to, for sports people.
For recovery.
For recovery after training, yes. But again, It depends what you want to gain. Like, the science is not yet like 100%, but it seems that for endurance-related training, like running, cycling, it's good immediately after, because it helps you recover faster, it suppresses the inflammation, and even if you got injured, you can train again, the next day or so. If you want to build muscle, however, you don't want to stop the process too soon. So it's advised to leave at least 1 to 2 hours.
Exactly.
Some people, they say actually 1 hour, because they say at the 1 hour after, it's like the sweet spot. But again, you have to always, our mantra in Wim method is listen to your body.
Listen to your body, test on your body, because
yourself.
It's always, subjective. It's
there is variation always,
exactly.
Yes. Also gender,
Exactly.
even with the cold, the feeling.
Mm-hmm. One last thing I would like to ask you. I get a lot of followers maybe, and people asking me, I would like to switch to my healthy eating and I would like to start fitness. Would I be mistaken if I said, try this cold shower therapy maybe, and the feeling will get you into the path of trying other things, like eating healthier, going for walks? Would that be right?
That's what I'm seeing a lot in the community, because somehow I find it very transformational, this technique, in a sense that it puts people on the right path. First of all, it gives them confidence. And confidence is very important. It comes from the word confidere, which means trust. And that's crucial. You begin to trust yourself, your body, and that you have what it takes to tackle anything. Whether it's weight loss, whether it's some health challenge, whether it's any problem in life. So then, when you develop this discipline of doing the cold showers, having this courage, having this confidence, it's much easier to, apply it to any area in your life. Like it truly transforms lives. I mean, I've seen it, and it's the most rewarding work. I feel
Amazing.
privileged to guide people through the experience. And I would love more people to start doing it, yes, because we are very lucky in Malta. It's much easier.
Amazing. I'm really happy you got to share just a bit. The subject is more vast. There is a lot of literature you can read, a lot of podcasts you can listen to. You can follow Pavla. She has very interesting pages and workshops you can attend, but I really do suggest that you look into it. I hope we introduced it well, and I really would like to thank you for being with us. And thanks for your work. Your page is so joyful. It's a joy watching and reading your posts, honestly. Thanks, Pavla. Thanks so much. Wasalna fit-tmiem ta' podcast ieħor. Nixtieqilkom grazzi tal-li segwejtu. Nixtieqkom illi taqsmu dan il-podcast ma' min forsi jista' jsibu ta' valur. Tkellimna fuq il-ftit, fuq il-breaths, tkellimna ftit fuq il-cold therapy li hija xi ħaġa li qed tikber fid-dinja għalhekk jekk tistgħu taqsmuh dan il-podcast neħdu pjaċir ħafna. Tagħmlu wkoll follow fuq il-Spotify, fuq YouTube channels tagħna illi ssibu fil-fatt fil-paġni soċjali. Grazzi ħafna u niltaqgħu f'podcast ieħor.